Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wednesday night is truck night in the Sim500. It's on tonight's races. Jeff McConaughey and Joe White.
Alright, good evening, race fans, and welcome, man. We're live tonight here at, actually, it's Dover. I don't know why that thing says Charlotte. Got a mind of its own for some reason. I tinker saying it says Charlotte, but we're actually at Dover. Oh, don't mind that. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't change the header up there. That's on me, folks. Anyways, we're at Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile, that is, for the kick-ass beef jerky truck series. Back at it again. We had a couple weeks off here. We're back at racing. They're in the middle of their heat race right now, and I know everybody, you know, likes to get geared up for that. And if you're new to the racing here at the kick-ass beef jerky, then you're gonna understand what they're doing here. They have heat races. They have the qualifying to set the field for the first 35 drivers, but then the last 8, which actually we've only got 6, so all drivers here are going to get in, but they still run the heat race no matter what. So it's kind of exciting as Anthony Navarro's out front. That's kind of unusual. That means Anthony was out of the top 35 in qualifying. He's one of the favorites here usually, but nonetheless, Joe White up here in the booth, accompanied by Jeff McConey. I'll get it right.
There you go, yeah.
I had to think about it for a second, man. But hey, man, Jeff, I tell you what, we've had a couple weeks off. We're back at it again here at Dover, and it's the Monster Mile.
It is. It is a very interesting racetrack. The concrete here can really change the way the car drives over the course of a run. And you and I were talking about this earlier. Now with this new update, 3 sets of tires for these drivers. So they are really going to have to take care of them. 170 laps, you break that into 4 segments so that you make 3 pit stops. That is, hang on, the engineering side of me will come out and do the math. It's been a long day. Pretty much 42 and a half laps. Yeah, 42 and a half laps is 1 tire run. So I would change tires every 43 laps, bare minimum.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what, it ended it out. Anthony Navarro, man, puts it up there for the last chance. They call it the last chance qualifier. What's up, Tim? How you doing out there? So, we're getting set here to grid these guys up, and let's grid them up here tonight because man puts it on pole. Joe Hudson out front there. Tommy Ryan starts in second. You got Steve Goschalk up to third. Old Milt Matisse right there up starting in fourth. You got Timothy Johnson. Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hold on a second. My bad. We're actually having a warm-up here. That's right. Oh, I got ahead of myself. I'm trying to grid these guys up here. I'm getting all excited for the racing.
Well, we got Brian Day on the pole. Tommy Ryan is in second. Then Donnie Elia, 2-time NASCAR champion, is in third. Justin Fuller in fourth. Doy Woods will start fifth. Ryan Howard in sixth. Starting seventh is going to be the 39 of Daniel Falkingham. Trey Edson starts in eighth. Shane Ewing in ninth, and Daniel Shirley rounds out the top 10.
There we go. Well, yeah, we'll throw the grid up there when it actually pops up here, but I got ahead of myself on that one there. So warm up. They got a little warm up. That's what it is. When they use the heat series or heat type things here on iRacing, it actually does a warm up before the race. That's how it works. But here we go. We got a good set of field here. About 30-some, almost 40 drivers here on set. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're live in on the Facebook and YouTube side. It's our network. Dover. It's the Monster Mile here, and I tell you, it's a tough track. You know, they call it the Monster Mile here for a reason. It's called concrete style track. But, you know, modulating off the turns here is going to be a tricky part. Being on the inside is very, very tricky to do.
That it is. You have to really take care of your stuff here and really focus on hitting your marks. And that's important at every track. But if you miss the bottom here at Dover, not only do you risk getting up into the wall, you risk having a slow lap and getting past, you risk knocking down that wall off turn 2 and off turn 4. Another thing to keep in mind here, wheel spin on restarts, and now that they're limited on the tires they can take, be very, very aware that these drivers can spin their tires easily. Daniel Shirley coming off pit road spun his tires, just no grip on them. So on restarts here, you got to start in second, and you got to be careful. It would not surprise me if we saw a wreck due to someone spinning their tires here on a restart.
And coming off the turns, too, usually see the inside lane. Not a lot of side-by-side here, you know, maybe early on, but later on as it goes, you don't see it because coming off the turns, being on the inside, very slick. They kind of almost like a hump. This whole track is banked, but the turns are banked a lot more. And when you come out of the turns, we'll get a good onboard shot of it. It's almost like it doesn't level off, but it levels a little bit off. And then what happens is well, it's kind of a bump. And it can actually upset the truck or car to where it almost lifts it off the ground.
You're right. The problem here at Dover, or I guess not really problem, but the design here at Dover is that the straightaways are on an angle. They are banked just like the turns, just not as banked as the turns. So it's really difficult to work your way around here. They've got a decent steering offset here, otherwise the truck would just pull right down the track. So this track eats tires. It's made of concrete. It's easy to get up into the wall, so you're wearing them down by having to fight the car a lot. This is a driver's track, and we see some names up towards the front that maybe we don't usually see qualifying well. Tommy Ryan, Elia, Justin Fuller, Ryan Howard, Trey Edson, all these guys starting up near the front. We usually see them finish up there, but to be able to put down a lap here that is quick from the beginning, that's a good start to the night, I'd say, for them.
Absolutely, and right there on Miles, probably going to try to chew up some cars or trucks here tonight at the Monster Mile for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. As we're getting set here to go green flag, got about less than a minute to go. As we saw some of these guys just flying around here, just testing out what they can, what they can and can't do. Like you said, tires, and see right there, a couple guys just getting a little slick. The good thing about these trucks is they do got a lot of downforce to them. Not too bad. Now, new tire models here. I believe they've had some tire changes. I have noticed one unique and kind of cool feature here, because we are in week 13 of iRacing and they have the new builds and stuff. If you watch the camera, and I also got another thing here too, I just noticed, but I'll get to that in a second. But if you watch the camera when we're on the walls, or with my camera angle when it's on the wall camera, or they used to be what they call the gopher camera, it shakes as the car goes by. So basically it's showing us the trucks and all, man, how the cameras in real life shake. It's kind of a unique feature. The other big one here, and I'm really quite excited about it since we are in the truck series here tonight, the Ford F-150 makes its debut in iRacing. So now we have the trifecta of trucks in the truck series. We have the Toyota, the Chevy, and the Ford all in iRacing now, and you're going to see a few of them out here on the field. And coming from a die-hard F-150 fan, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do tonight. But let's grid them up here, see what we got. Man on pole, that's right, Brian Day puts it out front. Tommy Ryan's going to start in second, Donnie Lee up to third, Justin Fuller fourth. You got Doy Wood starting in fifth, Ryan Howard at sixth, Daniel Falkenham's up to seventh, Trey Edson starts at eighth, Shane Ewing there at ninth, and rounds at the top 10, Daniel Shirley. As we look to the rest of the field, as we said earlier, the Monster Mile, and anything can happen here tonight, as these guys are going to try to tame this place. And like I said, it's going to be fun now, I think, with the truck series, because you've got a lot of diverse out here. Like I say, you've got now we've got all three manufacturers, and because before we only had Toyota and the Chevys, but now with iRacing implementing the Fords out here, it's going to be interesting to see battle of the manufacturers, so to speak.
That it is. So now the drivers have another choice. Granted, they all do work with the same physics. So a Chevy drives just like a Toyota, which drives just like a Ford. But it's a lot of fun representing your favorite brand. I'm personally, I run Chevy everything. So with the new Legends cars that came out, I'm running the Monte Carlo, and just from trucks through the Cup, I run Chevy. But hey, now we have the opportunity to go and race an F-150, and a lot of drivers are having fun with that. Seems like Justin Fuller is having the most fun of all of them, though. He is the highest starting Ford. Up on the front row, it's a couple of Chevys. Donnie Lee, to his inside, is also behind the wheel of a Chevy. So Justin Fuller making the Fords proud here with the fourth place start as they're getting ready for the green flag. Brian Day leads the way.
Yeah, it is. Green flag's flying. We're about to race here at Dover. We're set. We'll see what happens here tonight. Like I see Brian Day out front. He's going to take Tommy Ryan. Well, for the start of this one, you're going to try to get as much as you can early on. You'll see a lot of side-by-side racing, but these guys will get single file as it goes on.
That they will, and right now, somebody stuck up on the outside. That's Tommy Ryan. He started in second. Now he's got fourth place starter Justin Fuller to his inside, battling for third. You see the inside line here is strong. That is the line that is working their way around the track. Trey Edson now falling back a little bit from 8th to 9th, but he's in line. The 33 of Ryan Howard stuck up on the outside. Can't get down to the bottom, as it looks like Tommy Ryan has found his spot in line.
Top five, single file. You go back here to Daniel Falkenham. He's going to make the pass on Ryan Howard. as he'll go up top just a little bit, but battle for the lead up here. As I said it, here goes Elia. He's going to see if he can't take it. He moves Brian Day out of the way, and Brian drops all the way back to, well, right now he's battling for third.
Battling for third right now. The inside line is strong. That's Justin Fuller. He's got the run, but Brian Day dropping like a rock on that outside line. Man, that is not what he wants to see here. He might be trying to save his tires, like we said. 43 laps is the magic number here to break this race up into even splits. They've got 3 sets of tires here tonight. No more, no less. So, and that's 3 sets of right side tires, 3 sets of left side tires. So, essentially, that's all you get. You can only change left and or right side tires 3 times, so you might as well take 4 each and every time you come in.
Yeah, and you know, you brought up a good point right there too, because that was actually made that you know, a lot of guys would be like, oh, I've got 3 sets, I can just do 2 tires and still have an extra set. No, if you take those 2 tires, you lose the other side. So you got to keep that in mind if you want to take the side right there. And 41 machine almost of VJ O'Rourke. He almost got right up in the side of Daniel Shirley back here as they're battling it out just a little bit. You can already see these trucks kind of just bobbing around. Back here you got Tyler Overstreet, the 17th place spot. But you can kind of see how this track is. I mean, they look a little planted, but they're coming off those turns. And I got a feeling some of these guys are going to sit and try to save some tires, you know, early on.
I definitely think so as well. And you take a look at the track temp, 111 degrees, and it's going up. It's climbing. They've also got winds from the northwest at 15 miles an hour. And if you don't think that's affecting the way these trucks are driving, you're out of your mind. They definitely feel the impact of the wind on these trucks. They're 7 laps in. The track temp is rising. These guys are starting to get a feel for how their car is going to perform. I think we're just going to see some people riding here, though. It's 170 laps, and we are only 7 laps in.
Yeah, I think that's, you just said it right there. The guys are just going to try to cruise and ride here a little bit with knowing that, hey, look, I don't have an infinite amount of tires. I can't just come in every time. That's another thing. You know, even if we had, let's say, a bunch of cautions, you normally you'd come in and get tires or something. Now you got to think about that. Okay, do I want to come in now or do I want to wait? Those are going to start thinking in the back of your mind as a driver and as a crewman there. So not only is it, hey, look, you know, we're talking about a green flag stops, but you got to think about now cautions, because usually that's when guys just instantly jump down in there and get tires every time you turn around. Now you can't. You know, you've only got that certain amount of set that you've got to get through this race with.
Exactly. It adds a little bit more strategy here because you can choose to take tires later on. It also adds a little bit more responsibility for the driver. They have to make sure that they are taking care of their tires. They can't just come in and hope for a quick caution here. Now they've only got a set number of tires. You got to meet your quota for how many laps you want to turn before you change tires. Elia, though, leading the way. He's got a couple truck lengths over Tommy Ryan, but nobody's really pulling too far away from anybody else. The field is pretty much strung out in a single file line.
They are, and I think that just shows you the patience that they understand that, look, you know, right now is not the time to get out here and press the issue, try to see, you know, obviously we'll see what some of these guys have got later on in the race. Donnie right now setting the pace out front with old Tommy right there behind him. You see a couple guys in the back, Shane Ewing, Brian Day. Brian, I got a feeling here, just by watching what he's doing, I think he is playing the save game. You know, not pressuring that truck. He's falling back just a little bit back here, back in 7th spot. So now he's tucked in the line. I think he's just going to ride in front right there with Trey Edson. You got Tyler Dalton, Chad Coleman on the outside looking in there. Joey Catina's another one there. Joe Hudson, Daniel Shirley. So I think a lot of these guys have just kind of settled in and going, okay, long way, let's be patient and see what we got.
Exactly, and right now somebody that's not being that patient is Tommy Ryan. He's getting right up to that back bumper of Elia. I think he wants to lead some laps here, and I can't blame him for it. Now we are 14 laps in. You want to flex your muscles a little bit, especially over Elia maybe, because he's a 2-time NASCAR champion. He's won in the NASCAR Modified. He's a champion there. He's won also in the trucks. So he's a very talented driver, and now he's leading the way. If you're Tommy Ryan, you're sitting 2nd place to him. You're going, man, if there's a chance I can catch him and get around, you got to jump on it here. There's nothing quite like racing with NASCAR champions.
It is, and the biggest thing, too, is it is a hard place to pass here. I mean, once you get single file, you know, you want to diamond into the turn. A lot of times when you diamond up into that turn, though, you see the opening. Sometimes the guys might stick their nose in there, and it ends up, you know, maybe a little contact. And we've seen it time and time again. But right now, they're kind of spread out a little bit between the top two. I still feel like they're just being as patient as they can, filling out the track. You know, it's early on. And even Justin Fuller, I got to give my hats off because I'm always giving Justin Fuller out there a hard time here, Jeff. You know, got that one speed wide open. But I'm seeing right now difference in drivers. You've got your guys that are very conservative and you guys are very aggressive. You know, I've always said I put Justin Fuller in that aggressive side. But we're seeing here right now he has been very, very patient. And I think he understands that I can't just run this truck into the ground and, you know, we go back to the tire situation.
Right, we've seen a lot of maturity from Justin Fuller in the past few weeks in saving his equipment and just being smart. Not that he wasn't a smart or good driver before, but I think we've sort of talked about it a lot and touched on it a lot in the past couple of weeks. He's gone from that mentality of go as fast as you can, no limits, you got the tires on him, you know, you've got tires on the thing, you might as well use them, to now a little bit more reserved. It's 170 laps here. We're only about 10% of the way through this race. We're 18 laps in. You might as well be patient here and be smart. It's not the fastest car that wins this race. I say it every single week for the past however many months. It's not the fastest car that wins any race. It's the first one to reach the line. You got to make sure you're taking care of your stuff.
Another driver here, like we said, he was in that last chance qualifier and won it. Anthony DeBarro, you know, we know he knows how to get through the field, but he is marred back in 32nd. He's probably going to have to use some pit strategies to get up front. That's another thing here that, you know, you see the interval, you see the times. Nobody's coming through the field like gangbusters. I mean, you can see back here in about 28, 29, it's got some good racing back here going on. I mean, a lot of guys back and forth. Yeah, Brian Macklin, Randy Yoakum, Tim Johnson back there. So most of your racing happening back here in the you know, far back pack.
A little bit of racing back there, a little bit of racing up here, though, as well. Justin Fuller has gotten around Tommy Ryan for second place. But notice how far Donnie Elia pulled away while they were side by side for just a lap, just a set of corners, really. Donnie Elia was able to pull away by about a tenth and a half. So now when you're noticing these things as the leader, you see how much you're pulling away. 2/10 that lap he pulled away just by Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan being side by side for about half a lap. That makes a big difference. If a battle starts happening and guys are side by side, that can really help the guy ahead of them pull away.
Yes, it is. I tell you what, like you just said up front, they still single file, but boy, they are mixing it up back here in the back of the pack. You've got some good names back there: Jason Barham, Joe Hudson, Brian Wortman, Richard Beasley, Jeff Ryan back there, Don Runkle, John Mustaine. Just to name a few, Kevin Brown's back in the mix there. So a lot of guys got their work cut out for them to get up front here tonight.
They definitely do. Anthony DeBarro, he's certainly got a lot of work to do as he dives into the bottom here. Wow, that was close. He almost, Brian Macklin had to go up and give him a lot of room, Anthony DeBarro. So put him up to 27th. He's up 9 spots from where he started in 36th. He is lining these guys up and knocking them down, though. Now he's on the back bumper of Chris Chabot, and he's right there. I think we see the most aggressive driver out here tonight, Anthony DeBarro. Dare I say the most aggressive driver in the series. Notice I say he doesn't wreck much, though, because he's very, very aggressive. He will get right in your face and push your truck up out of the way if need be, but he doesn't wreck very often. He's a very smart, very aggressive driver. Takes a lot of talent to be both smart and aggressive, and he's got a really good mix of the two. A lot of respect for Anthony DeBarro. He's up to 26th right now. He's fighting for 25th. Actually, he's trying to catch up to Timothy Johnson ahead of him in 25th. That's a side-by-side battle with the 97. That's a lap car back there, though. No, it's not. That's Thomas George. I'm sorry. So, yeah, now he's in 25th, and Anthony DeBarro is trying to run down 24th at the moment. That's Timothy Johnson.
And that's the best way for him to do it. Just, you know, one at a time, come through the field like he's doing right now. He's up to 25th. He had to start way back. You know, no pressure. Got a lot of time to get it done. Another guy back here in the back here, about 20th spot, Jose Gonzalez. I call him Speedy Gonzalez out there. And right there in 20th, he's just biding his time, relaxing and racing around. Gonna see what he can do later on in this race. Even the back of his truck's got speedy on it. There you go, like that.
Yeah, he's certainly found success here in this league. His first race in, he won the Daytona 500 type race that we did. Man, he's a very, very talented driver, though, and he knows it. So he likes to start at the back and work his way up. He says it's fun. Right now, up towards the front, we got a battle for the lead. Justin Fuller got right up to that back bumper of Donnie Elia before checking up a little bit. I think Justin Fuller's trying to take that F-150 right to the front.
He is. He's going to see if he can't give it the first win of the season here as Justin Fuller pulling up on the back tailgate there, Donnie Elia, to see if he can't get around him. We'll see how much of pressure we got. We got a wreck in the back. Yep, yellow flag.
Jimmy Coleman, they were battling for 36th. That was Joe Hudson in the 61. Dove it in there and just got a little bit tight and barely touches the 11, but it's enough to send him around. 28 laps in, the caution's out. Now here's the $1 million question. We haven't hit that 43 lap quota that I was talking about earlier. Do you come down and change your tires? We're 30 laps in, so do you come down and take 4?
That's a good one. You know, me, I probably wouldn't this early. I'd ride it out. You know, now obviously if you're part of the wreck, or if you're way back in the back, I mean, you might be able to benefit. Let's say like an Anthony DeBarro's in 24th. Like you said, you're about 20 laps off. So, man, that's a tough question here, but I guess it's a no-brainer. Looks like a lot of them are going to come on.
I'm wondering how many. I'm wondering how many are just going to take fuel and not tires.
You know, and that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. Now, fuel will obviously, help the handling of these trucks a lot, like you just mentioned right there. So that's something. Let's watch Donnie Elia's pit stop here. Curiosity, like you said. If he takes tires, if he takes just fuel.
Crazy thought. I might take just
tires.
Left sides here. Looks like he is going to get the right sides changed as well. Will he take 4, Donnie Elia? Yep. Yes, he will take 4 up at the front. I don't know.
One set down.
Right. I mean, this is sort of, wow, look at that 3-wide battle off.
That was
awesome.
Yeah, so, all right, well, one set down. This is going to be interesting to be talking about here because, we're one set down. I'm going to say a quarter into the race, roughly. What this does now here, Jeff, is it brings up a long green flag run, a very, very long green flag run. One of these pit stops is going to have to, if it goes green the rest of the way, let's just throw the cautions out the window. One of these pit stops are going to have to be just fuel only. They're going to have to run these tires. Wow, I mean, they're going to have to run a long time.
So redoing the math, there's about 140 laps left. Donnie Elia coming back down pit road. What is this?
Penalty, maybe?
Maybe, but you can't serve a black flag penalty under yellow.
Unless he did get 4 tires. Unless he just did.
He might have gotten an EOL penalty and it's just going to come down and take fuel. Because he's going to be at the end of the line either way, you might as well top off. But looks like he might be, no, he is coming into his box.
He does have damage on the right side of that truck. So I don't know if he's maybe doing the optional damage on it. That might be another thing.
That's probably
so
it.
What has happened here is, Justin Fuller gained on him awful fast. Another thing we didn't talk about too much here at this track is, we talked about the turns coming in and off of them. Coming off these turns, very easy to slap the outside wall coming off this turn. I mean, it kind of just, when you hit that hump, and like I say, we'll ride along with somebody. It looks like that's what he's doing. He's getting the optional repair done on the truck right now. So I got a feeling that's what it is. Yeah, it looks like it beat the hood down just a little bit, but this place is just so tricky. It's almost like, Bristol, there, Jeff. I mean, you come off of those turns there, you could just it just kind of pushes you up into the wall and very easy to slap it.
You know what? I think he's taking advantage of that. He was definitely speeding on pit road. Let's see, pit road speed here is 35 miles an hour, and at the green cone on his first stop, he was clocked at 45.
Wow.
So he was speeding. which is very, very easy to do here at Dover, because you expect pit road speed to be 45 miles an hour, and that's 35. You feel like you are crawling. So Donnie Elia, I think he was caught for speeding and decided to kill two birds with one stone, come down, get some more fuel, get the right side damage fixed. Now he's starting at the rear either way. You might as well get that damage taken care of.
Absolutely. We're getting set here to line them back up side by side. The caution here the first time. Daniel Falkenham's going to be the man up front. Now, they did not pit, along with Chad Coleman, Shane Ewing, Anthony Calatoni there. So a lot of those guys did not pit up front. We saw a handful come in. We got to go back to Justin Fuller in 15th spot. Was the first ones, I believe, that came into the pit stop here. Yep, actually, yeah, back at Justin Fuller. So a lot of guys not pitting. Some are. So we'll have to see how it pays off here as we're going back green.
Going back green. Now we'll see how strong these four tires are compared to the guys that stayed out. We know they're going to be a lot quicker. But let's see if everyone's able to keep it clean here. Let's see. Anthony DeBarro now all the way up to 10th. He makes a dive bomb move on Milt Matisse. He's up to 9th at the moment. Works his way around. The 27 truck is now clear. Opens the door for the 10 car, Richard Beasley, to try and make a move on the 54 Milt Matisse. Not going to happen. So put Anthony DeBarro up to 8th now. And he is really zipping his way through this field.
Yeah, he has definitely got a handle on that truck and a handle on this field. He's got, Justin Fuller right there behind him. First man with the newer set of tires. And he's probably going to run in the tire tracks of Anthony DeBarro. But you can just see the difference there. Justin Fuller is able to put that truck anywhere he wants it.
Rewind.
Oh, is it
I
going to
don't
work?
like it.
No.
Oh, they still rewind. They're just telling me rewind.
I'm going to tell you what. Jeff, if it was not for new tires on Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan, that would have been a cringe moment right there. I don't think it would have worked that good, but you could just see how much newer tires are to those older tires.
Oh, absolutely. That was, man, I was shaking in my boots over here. I was worried. I thought we were going to see a wreck right there, but no, they make it work here. Right now, though, Jose Gonzalez is dropping through the field. I think he's wishing for those new tires right now. He's all the way back to, gosh, at least 11th, probably 12th now. He is hung out to dry on the outside line.
Now, what you see here is obviously you see Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan coming through the field, but they took 4 tires, and that's just going to be the norm that we're going to see right there. I think they're going to try to get out front, but that's going to flip and reverse. I mean, it's going to balance out eventually.
Trouble,
these guys, Anthony DeBarro.
Yeah, he got checked up behind Steve Gottschalk there, and man, 3 wide at the moment. Sorry to interrupt you before, but Anthony DeBarro was in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to work his way back up here now. He drops all the way back to 15th.
Ouch. Yeah, he did. He's back 17th now. Just like that, we're talking about it with the tires. I mean, it's going to be the story of the race here. I mean, it's just going to be tire management here at Dover. I got a feeling it's making it very interesting strategy-wise for us to see. You got guys out here on newer tires. You got guys out on older tires. And now you've got guys that are trying to they're going to have to race the track. They're going to have to try to be very, very cautious here as they go around. You just see Anthony DeBarro. Hey, we've sit and talked to it. He's come through the field very methodically, but the problem is he's on the older set of tires, and that truck just sometimes won't turn.
You're absolutely right, and we're seeing some of these drivers really drop through the field fast here. Shane Ewing now all the way back to 20th. Jose Gonzalez to 21st now. Man, that hurts for them, but now they still have those tires that they can lean on. They have an extra set compared to everybody else. Yep. So if you pitted on lap 30 there, you are now going to break the race into 3 stages. So that's 140 laps left. Break that up into 3. That's going to be about 45 laps. So around lap 75, roughly, I've reached a point in the night where I start to estimate in round numbers. About lap 75 is now your goal versus, no, that's not right. I'll rework the math.
No, you done hurt everybody's head tonight.
I know, I really have.
Maybe I need to get my wife over here. She's the mathematician over here. She'll calculate up what these guys need to do as far as 3 sets of tires, 170 laps, what they need to break that thing down into. But now Daniel Falkenham, remember, he did not pit under that caution. He stayed out. He's back to 12th. We got to keep an eye on somebody like him. that'll kind of give us an idea. What's it going to do later on in the run when he is able to get a newer set? And how's it going to benefit the guys who pitted as opposed to the guys who didn't? Because at some point, you see right now Daniel's falling back to 15. If he keeps falling at this pace, it might have benefited them to come in and get tires. They might be too far off the pace. So we'll just have to see what it does later on in the race.
We will have to wait and see. It's a social experiment out here. Everyone's trying out something new, and this is probably their first experience running on these new tires. So, a new tire limit, I should say. It's the same old tires, but now you're limited on how many you can take. So we'll see how it ends up working out. Worked out well for Justin Fuller and Tommy Ryan, Brian Day. They are still your top three here. Someone fighting their way back up to the field, clawing their way up. Donnie Elia, he's up to 13th right now, still trying to work his way up. Our biggest mover, though, is going to be from 21st to 5th, Nick Silver in the 15 truck. He is having himself a great run. He's in the top 5.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Silver there having a good run up in the 5th, like you said, and Orion Howard right there and Dowie Woods around him. So those 3 trucks there having a good run tonight. We're at Dover here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, and I gotta say, I ordered me some of the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. I ordered one of the snack pack things, and that stuff is good. I gotta admit, it's good stuff. And so let me pull up our, there's a promo code out there, and I actually used the promo code too. I got my 10% off. Actually, excuse me, 19% off. So it was the 19% off. Use the promo code Sim500. Go to kickassbeefjerky.com. Get yours.
There you go. Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. Very, very good stuff. We got sent some demos earlier in the season, and man, I had some live on air, and it was good. It was some really good stuff. So I don't know. I'm hoping for another package coming in the mail here with some more Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, but fingers are crossed. Make sure to use that promo code, though, for 19% off. You're saving money and helping out the people that support the racing you watch. It's a win-win for everybody. Plus, you get some great beef jerky out of the deal. I can't think of anything better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, it's a good race right now. Here's Justin Fuller's out front trying to give, we're in week 13, folks, and let me just explain what week 13 is here if you're new to iRacing or if you just tune into the broadcast. Week 13, every 12 weeks, iRacing does a build. They call it their Week 13 build, where they come out with either new content or update on a lot of things that they have. They had a ton of updates this time. Most notable updates was the 2 Cup cars, the 1987 Ford Thunderbird and the Monte Carlo came out. So back, they brought the old school cars here. They also brought the BMW M4 GT4 car. That was brought out also. I think there were some more tire models they did, some more damage models that they updated. They also brought, you see here tonight, which leading out front, Justin Fuller, the F-150 here into the truck series, which now makes, as everybody says in the NASCAR side, the trifecta, because it was only the Chevy and the Toyota, but now they have all 3 manufacturers in now. So with that said, there were some other advancements that they had and other little things that they added in, up underneath the table. It's their Week 13 build, but Justin Fuller, he's trying to see if he can't put that F-150 in victory lane. Would be the first time in the Sim500 history. It'd be the first time for us here on the broadcast, and first time for these guys here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky series.
Absolutely right, and it's some awesome stuff, I think, now, especially those old Cup cars. Joe, have you had a chance to drive any of them yet?
I have not. I'm a fan. Obviously, Bill Elliott was, when I first saw it, I remember Bill Elliott in 1985. That's when he set that record at Talladega. And, obviously he is an 87. I get my numbers right. In 1987, he is a NASCAR champion in 87. He did not win it in 85. He lost to Darrell Waltrip by about 10 points. So it was a very good show and season there. It was 10 or 12. It was a close race between those two. But yeah, when I saw it, it was awesome. and I could be off by a year on what championship. He's 87 or 88 is when the one he won. But big Bill Elliott fan, that Coors machine out there, that was awesome to see. And then just him and the memories of seeing him and Dale Earnhardt go at it, on the track was just awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I went with the Monte Carlo. Like I said earlier, I'm a Chevy guy, so I've been having so much fun driving those cars. So you have no grip. You are driving by the seat of your pants, and it takes talent to drive them. I mean, they are very difficult cars to drive, and I love that. It's not like the modern cars where there's downforce. You're glued to the track. No, these things, if you lose focus, you will spin out. Not even if you make a mistake. If you lose focus, you're going to end up spinning out. So you have to be careful. You have to be attentive. And I race in VR. So I'm already, you're very invested in it when you're in VR. Like you feel like you're sitting in the car. And it adds a whole nother layer to it when you're driving these old cars and you're really fighting them all the time and you're drifting sideways. It's like nothing else. It's really cool. I think they did such a great job with it.
And that's good. That's what I've heard throughout the whole sim here. And obviously, we're on iRacing.com. It's a motorsport simulator here. I always say it's the realest thing without going spending millions of dollars to go real racing. A lot of these guys do have a lot of money in the rigs and so forth. And right now, Justin Fuller's out leading it as looks like we do got some green flag pit stops. I mean, this field is spread out pretty good here. We only had one caution here tonight. But, like what you just said, Donnie Leah's coming back through the field. He's up to 10th right now, so he's working his way up through. But like you said, it's a different world. We talk about back in the day, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, those guys, which were showcased with the two cars that they brought out here in iRacing. Those cars back then, like you said, were different animals, and the cars nowadays are way different. And that's why I've said in the past that drivers now, it's different than what it is back then. We spoke about technology in the cars and technology of what, the tech in these cars that they have, what they can and can't do. They didn't have that back then. I didn't have as much of it back then. Let's say that. It was pretty much basic, get a big motor, go to work, and wheel that thing around. So interesting. But these trucks now, they do have a lot of downforce to them, and we're seeing it, but they can get loose on them after a while. But right now, these guys are, I'm very, very impressed with what I'm seeing on the track right now. A lot of patience, and I think it's the psyche that we've been talking all night. Tires. I think these guys know, what, I don't have an unlimited amount. And that actually brings realism here to it, Jeff, because you think about it, in real racing, they only have a certain set of tires that, that they have to go off of. A lot of times it's more than they need, but they still only have a certain set.
You're exactly right. In iRacing, it's all about the realism here. It's as close as you can get to driving a race car without putting on a fire seat. That's what I like to say. So now they have added in the limited number of tires that you can take. They do it by right side and left side tires. So you could make 2 pit stops and take tires each time, but you would have to take either left sides or right sides. Now, I didn't see anyone take only 2 tires that time around. Last pit stop, but now you're starting to get worried here. We're getting to the point where you might need to come and make a pit stop fairly soon. We're seeing some green flag pit stops. The 34 car just said that he'll be coming in, but up front, Justin Fuller still leads the way, not by too much over Tommy Ryan. So they are still in it here. Tommy Ryan in second, Brian Day in third, who's right on that back bumper at the 99. Doy Woods fourth, Ryan Howard in fifth. Really, these top 5 drivers are all pretty close. As the caution comes out, that throws a wrench into everything.
It does, and I tell you what, Tommy Ryan had to, and Brian Day.
Involved.
Yes, he did, and I was about to say, Tommy Ryan, let's go back on the yellow here. I'm not sure what happened, but I was watching right there. I was actually on Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan actually got heavy on the binders, and Brian Day went shooting right by him. Let's ride here with Brian Day. And I think Brian just had to lock it up to avoid what happened in front of him. I'm not sure who it was.
The pace car.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm watching because Tommy checked up when the caution came out. Brian went around him. Not sure why the caution came out. or who the caution was on. Yeah, Brian Day was just trying to get that truck woed down, and it just wouldn't stop. It came out from under him. Not sure what the cause of the caution was.
Richard
though.
Beasley. It was Richard
Was
Beasley.
Richard? All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go. Let's find old Richard here and let everybody kind of see what.
Oh, the 39
Let's
of
see.
Falkingham drifted up the track a little bit. They came together there. Beasley went around and was sideways on the front stretch. That's what brought out the caution. And the leaders were right there, so they all had to check up, and there was just some miscommunication. Really great work by Richard Beasley, though, to keep that truck rolling. He locked it down and then popped the brakes and got the truck pointed straight.
Yeah, we're just watching right there on the replay. Let everybody see it on the here live. But yeah, it just looks like you said, just contact between them two, and yeah, that could have been a lot worse than what it was. It's just I hate it there on Brian Day's part. But you can also see, man, Justin Fuller was right there, you know, in the mix. So, like you said, the leaders, they were going through the field, and now looks like Justin Fuller went on pit road to get Justin Fuller at. He Tommy
I think he's still on track.
I see Tommy up front. Oh, Justin's back in 11th. Not sure. He might have slowed down a lot because I don't know how all the other ones got in front of him. How'd he end up in a 9th?
Good question. He did come down pit road. He took right side tires.
Oh. Well, I mean, if he came on pit road, just showing a 14-second pit stop. Oh, he could have took 4 tires. Maybe he made his pit stop.
He did make a pit stop. He came down pit road and yeah, he did take 4.
Well, now here's here's the thing now, Jeff. We're early in still. He's already took two sets of tires,
and we're not even halfway.
That's what I'm saying. So what think that was a smart move to come on pit road?
For 4 tires, no. I really don't. I think
not this early. I'm with you on that one.
If you wanted tires that badly, maybe come down and take left side tires, have your third pit stop be 4 tires, and then just take 2 rights at the end.
Well, but here's the thing. Yeah, see, here's where the mess up is. You can't do that. Once you take a set on the side, it from my understanding, it deletes out the other set. So it's
it does.
3. Yeah, it's from my understanding, because I think they did a poster, and I could be wrong, but from what I understand, Nick was explaining that on one of the posts out there. Matter of fact, let me see if I can't find it for us here while we're in the caution. I'll try to find it and see. What's up, Bucky? How y'all doing? Rich Swaley, how y'all doing out there? Let me see if I can't find and explain it a little bit better here. It says okay. I'll look at it. Here we go. All right. So maybe it'll help us out here. All right. They've they put the tire limits will be enabled. So we decided on a 2 sets, but they went with 3 sets. They did an update on it and actually went with 3 sets. Let me actually go to where he actually said. Here we go. It says we got a spoken aloud. They want to start Wednesday. They're going to implement a tire limit. They will give 3 total sets. The ones you start with, and 2 sets in the pits. If you need to be adjusted, we'll do it. Okay, that's not telling me what we need to know. Alright, here it is. Okay. I'll get it right here in a minute, Jim. With the way iRacing has the tire limit set up, This means that you can change tires 3 times per side. Okay. Or maybe I was explaining. All right. It says, for example, if you decide to take 2 right sides only on your first stop, then you will only have 2 more pairs remaining for your right sides the remainder of the race. So basically what that's telling me as we go back green is, yeah, if you take right sides, then you only have the one set there on the side. So I
think that might be worded strangely. As I understand it, you would have 2 more sets for the right side, but still 3 on your left.
Okay.
Which means...
And that would make sense to me. That does make sense to me, what you said right there. Yeah.
Right. I think that's what it is. So now, if you've taken 4 tires twice, like Justin Fuller has, he only has a couple tires left as the caution's out. Oh, big wreck. 31. Jason Barham is involved. I think that was him. Wow.
Go back here and see. Oh, yeah, that's a huge one here. So let's go back. Eric Arnold. Oh, they were 3 wide back there. I mean, they were in a cluster. Eric Arnold, it started with him. Joey Woods got involved. Yeah, he was in the middle. And then from there,
net code.
Yeah, and they were 3 wide back there. And then the 20 machine also involved in it. Wow. Yeah, huge mess back there.
That was a lot of net code, actually. That was very, very strange.
Yeah.
I've never seen... It was like the car got hit sideways. You saw the rear end actually jump up vertically as if it got hit from the bottom. So, very strange. Yeah, but that was net code there. That caused that wreck. They were 3 wide and making it work, but then driving into it afterwards, though, is the 20 car. Oh, you hate to see that. That's Trey Edson, not Jason Barham.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. But Thomas George gets involved, and I believe that that's a lot of front-end damage for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's not good at all.
What's up, Bob? How you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's what we were talking about, Justin Fuller's strategy, because we're trying to figure. And I'm gonna agree with Jeff on there. The wording of the way he worded that, Nick and them did was it sounds like once you took one side tires that you lose the other one, but I'm gonna go with what Jeff says. You still should have those other side. You just wouldn't be able to. Let's say if you took right sides, you wouldn't be able to go take another set. You're gonna lose. You only have 3 on each side basically. So if you wanted to put 2 tires throughout the whole entire race, or put 3-4 sets of tires, you go for it. But still trying to figure out Justin Fuller's strategy, because he's put 2 sets on already, so that leaves him with 1. He's either going to have to split that or do it all in one pit stop. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the only strategy he's going to probably that would make sense to me is him to split those 2 tires. I mean, somehow, some way.
That, or it's lap, let's call it 70 that he pitted at. Yeah, he'd have to pit again around lap 120 or so. That could work. No, that could work, I think. So I don't think he's screwed. I think he's in trouble, though. He's definitely behind the 8 ball.
Different.
But he could make it work. He just has to hope that it goes green from whenever he makes his last pit stop to the end.
But I tell you what, with, well, he's got his mic off. I was going to bring him up here and get a talk with him, but he's not there, so. No, we can't bring him up. He's actually got his whole mic and all off, so he don't even want to say anything. he's full concentration mode right now. I don't know if Tommy Ryan's in here. Maybe get a word with him. He's had a heck of a run all day. Let's see if we can get a quick word in with him right fast here when we go back green. Tommy Ryan, Joanne the Booth, got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, what's up?
Well, I tell you, it's unique. It's tires is what we've talked about, and it's wild out here. We've seen Justin Fuller's crazy pit strategy, and seems like you've got a fast truck. Do you think you got what it takes to win this thing?
I do, as long as the cautions fall right. Justin's got 1 less set than I do right now, and we got what here? We'll have about 94 laps to go, and I still have 2 sets. So I'm probably going to get my butt kicked right here once these new tires get going. If we get a green flag, but we'll see how it works out, man. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Well, it has
looking
been.
forward to it.
Well, you're right, and I'm going to agree. It's been exciting here with the strategy that has evolved because it looks like that's basically what it is now. It's a strategy style race. Makes it interesting out here. But hey, you got a fast truck. Good luck out there, man.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, I tell you what, get him back down there to his thing. And he said it right there, Jeff, and you could hear it. He knows that he's probably going to get outrun by the newer tires, but 90-something laps. He's got 2 sets. Justin's got 1. We've not seen anybody with 2 tires do anything. Jimmy Coleman has got 2 tires stopped there, but I don't know. We'll just have to see how this plays out at the end.
Absolutely. We'll have to see how it plays out. I think Tommy Ryan, though, he's hoping that he can hold on and really hope that those tires aren't going to hurt him too badly. But I think he's making the smart move here. You don't need to win the battle. You need to win the war. At the end of the race, having another set of tires is going to be a big advantage.
And like what he spoke of something interesting right there that does bring up a good thing. If the cautions fall, now obviously we're talking about if this thing goes green. If the cautions fall right, it plays in Justin Fuller's hands perfect because it won't matter how many sets of tires, the 2 sets of tires that Tommy has left, because it will kind of even out being that the cautions and whatnot. So that's another strategy you have to play into it and look. But if it goes on a long green flag run, I think Tommy Ryan's in a good place. Don't count out, Tyler Dalton right there, too, or Tyler Overstreet. A couple other guys are in the same boat that Tommy is. So can't count out a lot of them other guys. I just feel if we get a long green flag run, that'll play into it.
It certainly will, so we'll have to see what ends up happening. Tommy Ryan still leading the way, though, having himself a great run so far. Let's see if he's able to continue as the pace truck dives onto pit road and they get ready for the green flag. Tommy Ryan with an early jump.
Absolutely does, and Tommy says, I'm going to try to get out as far as I can. Green flag flies. You have a good one there at Tim, man. And that's the... You're right there, Bob. I got a feeling, he's going to have to split it 50-50 here. If it goes green, obviously, like I said, that's a green flag, running throughout. Caution's out. So these cautions here, though, I'm going to tell you what, the cautions will help. Will help Justin Fuller. Let's go back here to Joey Katina. He's involved in this one. Oh, he had to check up, got in the back end. Looks like Steve Goschalk and this went around. And from there, it's a huge pileup. It took Chris Jabou, Anthony Calatoni, several other drivers involved in that one. Wow.
Yeah, just check up domino all the way back. Man, that is not good. Oh,
and that's just normal.
The big one at Dover.
The big one at Dover, you're right. And that's just something that you're going to see. It happens a lot. Here's the thing, too, Jeff. What I think we're seeing on these restarts now that we did not see at the beginning of the race because everybody came in pretty much is you've got guys on old tires and guys on new tires. Remember that old thing you always hear guys say, what in the world is that guy doing? He's out here, he's not taking tires. He's staying out on those old tires. He's going to slow the field up. But you have to strategy. That's another thing as a guy that comes in and gets new tires and you're back in traffic. You have to still be mindful that the drivers in front of you that you're going to be way faster, and you just cannot go flying through the field and expect those guys to, basically get out your way in time. So you've still got to have that awareness about you. I think they're getting used to that here, and I feel like, the more we run and the more that this is done, they'll get used to that because it is a new experiment here. It's new to everybody here in the Sim500, the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky series. So I think that will come with time. A lot of these drivers are great heads-up drivers. Some of the best here in iRacing. So that will come, but you've got to keep that in mind there too, Jeff. You've got to understand that now we're throwing in, what's that old saying, a little monkey in the wrench or whatever or something. I don't know. It goes like that. However that saying is, wrench at the monkey. Who knows? But
A monkey wrench.
yeah, there we go.
Throw a monkey wrench at it.
Yeah, throw a monkey wrench. Yeah, there we go. The part of you're going to have old tires, guys on old tires, guys on new tires. And the guys on new tires, obviously, and I think what we saw right there was maybe a little bit of product of that. Guys on the old tires just can't get going as quick. And the guys on the new tires, man, they just take off.
Yeah, absolutely. Something interesting here that I noticed, though, on lap 57 for Donnie Elia, I noticed he had some back end damage. I was curious as to when it came, and it just sort of bent in. Like, I've never seen anything like it. He's driving down the straightaway, all of a sudden, boop, back end.
That's just
beat in.
That's just a rendering thing of iRacing. I've seen that happen, many a times. That's kind of one of those. Unfortunately, we go back to the virtual world. It's just some wonky things every once in a while. It happens. To answer your question out there, Eric. Unfortunately, no. But I tell you what, since you brought that question up, I will ask the developers if there is a way to speed that ticker up. That I'm actually using, they call it the NASCAR ticker. I normally use the other side ticker. It's the same program. It's just an implemented component. I mean, I could shut that one off and go back to the other side viewing if y'all would rather have it. I figured I would show the top viewing like it is because it's more of a NASCAR style ticker. But that is a good question, and I definitely will bring that up to their support. I didn't think about how it scrolls across. So let me know if you like that ticker, or I can actually show you this. Let me know if you would rather have that one. Which one would you rather me show? The side view one like that, or the top view one? So y'all tell me out in the chat. Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you know, I try to do with the drivers, leagues, the owners, and the viewers out there to make the experience, pleasing to them. So
I gotcha. Yeah, that's why I'm on the broadcasting side, not the producing side.
We try to, man. We do. Yeah. But he is right. I mean, I noticed that when I brought it up myself. It does kind of scroll slow. There's got to be a way to speed it up. I will get with them after the race. They are UK based, so they should be up. They're about 7 hours ahead of us, something like that. So I'll be able to go on their Discord channel, and I'll bring that question up, and I guarantee you we're going to find an answer out somehow on that one for y'all. So, like I said, either way, want to make sure that everybody has a pleasurable experience. And with that said, we're here at Dover, kick-ass beef jerky here, and I tell you, we've been off a couple weeks. Good to be back. Like it and enjoy it here, and I hope everybody's enjoying it. Let me know how it sounds and looks to you. We're on YouTube and Facebook, OSR Network. The top one is too slow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we just went over that mark. So I tell you what I'll do. I'll just I'll do it this way. Then we'll since that one is kind of slow. Takes too much. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. So it's kind of one of those 50-50 deals. But we'll go with the side one for right now. We'll find out why the hell one's slow. But anyways, let me know how it sounds, looks out to you out there. If you like what you see, hit that like and share. Really appreciate it. So if we get all them likes out there for the league, and I know they enjoy it, like all the viewers. I love interacting here with these the drivers and the viewers out there. That's the advantage, Jeff, we got that the real world announcers don't. We can interact with a lot of the viewers and the audience.
Exactly, and that's what's so great about broadcasting here on iRacing is talking to everybody and getting to interact with them. Always a great time as we bring them some great racing. Speaking of great racing, up here at the front, Justin Fuller on the outside, Tommy Ryan on the inside. They're side by side for the lead. 84 laps in, they are just about halfway. Justin Fuller rockets by on the outside.
Yes, he does. Well, Justin Fuller, he's got that lead right now. And I'll tell you what, I got the debate of which side ticker they want. They want the side or the top one out there. So I tell you, but right now there's no debate on who's leading. Justin Fuller, and like Tommy Ryan said, those tires were king. He was able to take them and go to the front with it. But look at Tommy Ryan. He's able to hold pace with him. And this right here might be key to something later into the race. It might be something Justin Fuller might go, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. If Tommy Ryan's able to hold with me on old tires. But then again, we don't know how much that Justin is trying to save up front. That's another thing we got to throw out there.
Exactly. That's the big question. How much is he trying to save? You see right now, Kevin Brown is throwing his hat in the mix, as well as Nick Silver in the 15. Tommy Ryan is shuffled out to the outside there. He's dropping now. He's side-by-side for third. Now he's side-by-side for fourth. Now he's going to be side-by-side for fifth with Ryan Howard. That is not where he wants to be, battling for a top 5 position here. Now for 6th, that's the 29, Adani Elia goes by. Now for 7th, as Jose Gonzalez is to his inside. Tommy Ryan is dropping quick on those old tires.
Yeah, it is. Tommy right way back to 8th place. Kevin Brown up front here now. He is battling with Justin Fuller. I think Justin Fuller at this moment, I think he's in tire conservation mode. He's not trying to run away from the field here. I think he understands that, I've only got a certain amount left I need to save. Kevin Brown, though, all over the back end of him. He's right there with Nick Silver trying to see what he can do. He's got that Twitch machine, man, rolling tonight.
Absolutely. We saw a little bit of an altercation going on earlier here. Don Runkle Jr. wasn't too happy with the 08 of Thomas O'Leary. Got right up on that back bumper, actually hit him on corner exit. O'Leary saves it, but Don Runkle Jr. gets tight, gets up into the wall. One of the features of iRacing is that these drivers are able to communicate with each other, and, we're able to listen in as the caution is now out.
Oh, caution out. Joey Katina involved in that one. Let's go back and see what happened to him here. He's back at, looks like a little bit of blinking right there from, don't know who that was behind him, but it looks like
61.
it looks like he blinked a little bit. And when he blinked back in, he was just in the back end of Joey Katina's. And we see it happen all too often here, but unfortunate there. Joey was just wrong place, wrong time.
Right now, continuing on from earlier, one of the things on iRacing is that these drivers are able to communicate with each other. Don Runkle Jr. got up into the wall after bumping the back end of the 08 of Thomas O'Leary. Thomas O'Leary taunted him a bit and said, "That's what you get." Don Runkle Jr. responded with, "Well, if you quit blocking me, that wouldn't have happened." Now they're brake checking under caution, as Don Runkle Jr. believes. He believes that Thomas O'Leary is brake checking him under caution. So tempers are starting to get hot here, a little bit past halfway through the race. And one thing with iRacing is these drivers are able to communicate with each other. They're able to voice their displeasure. And, that can make you a little bit angrier sometimes when the other person's responding to you and you're getting into an argument with them. It can get you, both people, a little bit angrier. So keep an eye on that. That could be a brewing story here.
And penalties, too. That's another thing you don't want to have happen. You don't want to have penalties or anything like that. You got to be civil about it, so to speak. But you're right. Tempers flare a lot here. It's racing, even in the virtual world. These guys want to compete. The emotions run high and so forth and so on. So you got to be careful, though. You don't want to get no penalties. You don't get to put on probation or anything like that or lose any points. So, but under caution here, Justin Fuller is a man out front. Now, these cautions, like I said before, they will benefit Justin. Slows down the pace of it, as I think he was kind of saving just a little bit. Now, got some exciting things here, Jeff. Tomorrow night, speaking of Sim500, normally Thursday, Fridays, we're off here on the OSR Network, OnlineSimRacingNetwork.com. But Thursday and Friday, we have a special event. Bryce Whitson, we're going to have the Never Quit. It's a 250 race for him on both nights. It's kind of a beneficiary-style race for him. He's battling, I believe it's from leukemia. And he's looking for some treatments and stuff he's going to have done. But they're putting on 2 special races, and we're going to broadcast them for them tomorrow and Friday night. And that's going to be interesting to watch and see. So everybody kind of tune in for that.
Well, it sounds like a great cause there. So best of luck to you in those events, and all the drivers participating. Best of luck to them as well. That's a great cause.
Oh, absolutely. And I know you're going to be, as always, because you're the man from Stanford Speedway. Y'all didn't know we had the voice of Stanford up here, folks. So, with us in the booth, Jeff's going to be calling those virtual Stanford races.
That is true. And then usually Thursday nights, I'm over on the Full Velocity Racing Network calling the Modifieds, the East-West Promotional Modifieds. That's on speed51.com. They have the week off tomorrow, so I got invited to go run in a league race. So for the first time in probably 6 months, I'm actually going to be running a league race and not broadcasting it. And that's probably the first time since December I've done that.
Well,
so.
you just brought up another thing there. We got some exciting things happening here channel-wise. You talk about Speed 51. We're going to be doing their throwback series, Speed 51, on Tuesday nights here, another couple weeks, with the Cup car that we were talking about, the 87 Cup cars. So we were just talking about those earlier. We're going to be actually doing those a series, and it will be broadcasting on the speed51.com. Also got GeForce TV coming on board, as we're going to be doing the Monday and Thursday for them. That's going to be dirt racing, though. That's going to be some exciting stuff, because some dirt racing, fast and furious, quick, right there. I like dirt racing and get kind of excited with it. But that's going to be on GeForce TV. So check them out. Got a lot of interesting. Obviously, we still got Kick-Ass Beef Jerky here on the Wednesday, and then we got the ISRA on the Sunday night. So awesome stuff.
Very, very good stuff. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. A lot of great stuff coming up here. So make sure to tune in here, folks. Follow along on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else to keep up with your favorite broadcasting company here. Keep us in mind.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I tell you what, it's been interesting here to race. And, we've talked about, tires. And I guess now for the rest of the season, it's going to be a tire talk. It's going to be interesting to see, like in short tracks, too, what these guys do. And, like road courses or anything like that they're going to handle throughout the season. Now that they're going to implement these tires here, and tonight we've seen it. It is playing a factor. We're seeing strategies play out here. And one most notably, our leader out here, Justin Fuller, who has already taken 2 sets. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with that last set, when he's going to take that last set. He's been fast. These cautions are definitely helping him, though. Yeah, FEG, you're right.
That he is. He is doing a great job here, but he is a bit behind the 8 ball as well. He decides to take the outside on this restart, so that's a bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for him on this restart. He's got Kevin Brown, the CBS and Twitch machine, on his inside.
Absolutely. You're right there, Bob. That's right. Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. Here we go. Pace truck in, about set to go green flag. See if Kevin Brown can muscle his way around Justin Fuller. He was on his back bumper. Justin Fuller just says, no, not today. I'm going to just go ahead and take off.
There he goes off into the distance. And now what he wants to see, I think the reason he took that outside is he would hope that Shaun Castle would be able to get a good jump as well. And that would put him side by side with Kevin Brown. It doesn't work out that way, though. We saw earlier, talked about how important it was for the guys to be running behind the leader. The leader wants them side by side. It slows them down so much. So now Justin Fuller going to try and save tires here, I think, as he's got about 4/10 over second place, and they're getting ready to battle back there, it looks like.
Well, Jose Gonzalez right now is up beneath Ryan Howard right there, trying to take that spot away from him. That's 6th place battle, but then he is not able to take it. We haven't used the word tonight, momentum, because I think with the tires that they are, it actually takes the momentum away from a lot of this. You really have to kind of just drive these trucks. And a lot of times, it's hammered down, and if you lose momentum through the turns or something, you lose it. But tonight, it's been all about the tires and all about, track position.
You're absolutely right. And I want to point something out here as well. The first car 1 lap down, that's Anthony DeBarro. We saw him work his way up. He started this race in 36. He was up running towards the front earlier on, so keep your eye on him. But look at this. Kevin Brown from dead last. Actually, I'm sorry, not dead last. From 40th of 41 drivers all the way up to 2nd now. From 32nd to 3rd is Shaun Casto. 21st to 4th, Nick Silver. 26th to 7th, Jose Gonzalez. 39th to 9th was Jason Barham, having himself a great night here tonight. We don't get to say that too often. If it's not bad luck for him, it's been no luck at all. He's been caught up in a lot of wrecks. Jason Barham, though, right now running in 9th place, a great top 10 run after starting way back in the field. Keep your eye on him in that 83.
And I think what is done here, too, with this tire situation of what they've got, because a lot of these guys have gotten up front. I don't want to take anything away from their skill or anything like that, but we've seen nobody from the back of the pack be able to just run through. It's so hard to pass here and so hard to get up through the field. But the tire situation, tire strategy, I feel like will help guys like, Jason Barham or somebody like that who normally is like, you know what, I struggle a lot. I come out here, I love this racing, I'm trying everything I can do. I just don't have good luck a lot of times. Maybe this right here is what I need. I can play the strategy game like in real racing. We've seen it time and time again. It's not always the fastest car that wins. Usually that's kind of crazy to say because you would think, hey, it's racing, why not? Sometimes guys with the best strategy is the one that wins.
Absolutely. It's not the fastest car that wins the race. It's the first one to cross the line at the end, 170 laps later. Right now, we're 102 laps into this event, though, of 170, and they are starting to really find their places in line here, find where they're strong, where they're not so strong, and basically start to put together their runs and figure out what the best move going forward is. Elia has clawed his way back up. He's into the top 5 now, running in 5th place, starting in 3rd. Nick Silver still sits 4th, Sean Castleman 3rd, and Kevin Brown now still in 2nd, about 4/10 behind our leader, Justin Fuller.
And what I think this also does with the tire situation too, you look at Nick Silver, Sean Castro, Kevin Brown, a lot of those guys, I mean, we're so used to seeing a Justin Fuller up front there and Anthony DeBarro. What we're seeing a lot of these guys too here is the other drivers who normally would be, like I say, aggressive up front are having to be more patient. And it is really helping. You're not seeing a lot of, overdriving or overstepping. I mean, you see Elia making a pass right there on Nick Silver, but he made it clean-wise. And for the most part, all these drivers, as yellow flag flies, all these drivers pretty much are just being, kind of cautious out here. I believe that's Thomas O'Leary was involved in this one. Let's go back and see what happened. Looks like, don't know if he had help.
Jr. Don't say Don Runkle Jr.
I don't think it was Don Runkle, but let me go back.
It was not. It was the 46.
Yeah.
Low and a little bit of net code.
Yeah. I mean, they just got together just a little bit there, and unfortunately, Thomas paid the price and went around, but, just like that could happen. But what I'm seeing on the track, though, what I was talking about before is normally you'd see these guys, I mean, they'd just be hammering down and up front. But you're seeing them be very patient. And I'm telling you, until they figure out how to manage these tires, and I'm not saying the guys don't know how to manage, but until they figure out to say, okay, I've got 3 sets. This is how far I can push this truck. Remember, this is the first night doing this. This is the first time doing it on this track. The more you race it, the more you do it. Yes. Now you see right there a fake going into pit road. Kevin Brown was about to come on. Jose Gonzalez did, though. But Justin Fuller, see, normally he would have came on pit road. And in the past, he would have came on pit road, put 4 tires on. You just see the whole field come down. Guess what? Justin Fuller didn't even think about it at the time. He knows in the back of his mind, I can't come down this early. I'd run out of tires by the end of the race. It just can't be done.
You're right, and now Justin Fuller's bed is sort of made. If there's a late race caution now, he's not going to be able to come in. He'll be just fresh out of tires, so all plays into the strategy here. They're all learning and trying to figure it out to the best of their abilities here, but it's a social experiment. They're all learning right now, and we'll have to see how it works out.
Yes, it is, and here we go. Getting set to go back green flag here tonight. As these guys, man, for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series here, and appreciate everybody, man, tuning in. Because it has been a good one so far. But we're getting there. We're almost getting to the end of this one. It's interesting. The tire talk is really just it's made the whole, I don't know, here's a unique word, of the race kind of different. How's that?
That works for me. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. It makes the whole strategy and everything of the race kind of different. Because normally we would be like, okay, yes, on a caution like this, they'd come on, get 4 tires, come back out here. Justin Fuller would hammer down and go up front, and the guys that, would just, you go all out. But here, we've just seen, I think it has calmed the guys down. They know they have to be a little bit more nitpickier on what they have to do and where they have to put these trucks at and how they have to drive them. I mean, they're so used to just driving them on the edge all the time, but now you can't.
You're right. Now you have to be smarter. You have to be more patient. You have to be willing to wait here and be there at the end, which can be very frustrating for drivers. I know patience, it's a rare commodity, and it's hard to come by sometimes. And you really, right, it's a virtue as well. And you just want to get up to the front. You're racing. You want to be in the lead. You want to run up front. But sometimes that's not what it's about. It's not about leading laps in racing. It's about winning races. If you can do both at the same time, hey, that's great. But winning is more important at the end of the day.
We've many times in real racing, like you just said, we've seen a guy dominate the race in a late pit stop. Just had to pit because he needed the tires, or it was just one tire stop off, or so forth and so on, and then lose to a guy who just had a better strategy. Or fuel mileage is the biggest thing we see in racing. There's another one. You don't see that too much in iRacing because the fuel's kind of set. We see it a couple times, guys stretch fuel, but fuel mileage in real racing is the biggest thing. You see a guy out there, the one guy runs out of fuel at the end or has to make a pit stop, and another guy just stretches us to the end there and wins the race, who might have normally have finished, 10th, 15th, or 20th. Hey, lo and behold, right place, right time, and the right strategy. And I think that's what we're seeing here now. I'm still curious on Justin Fuller's game plan, and I know he's got his mic off down there. Well, actually, no, we don't now. We could actually bring him up here. See, I know he ain't going to tell us his strategy, but we can maybe try to see. How's that? Justin Fuller, Joe White in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got you, Joe.
Well, we've been talking about you a lot here because 3 tires. You got 1 set left.
What are you thinking?
You got enough truck left to go to the end here.
I think so. It depends on how this thing goes. We kind of made our bet already. I kind of wish we had an extra set laying right now, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can adjust this because, like in the real world, they can re-glue up used tires and use them later in the race. We can't, so we're gonna be completely out. But we got a really fast personal comfort Ford F-150.
Yes, you do.
And we got a good crew chief on the box with Adam Gilliland tonight, so he's making the calls here on the tires. I trust his calls, and we'll see what happens. We're gonna restart here with 60 to go, so if we can go green to the end, that'd be great. But if we get a caution with around the halfway point, I'll definitely come in and get my last set, I'm sure, and make my bet, and hopefully we can get the best finish we can.
I tell you what, you definitely got a fast truck, and how it is, and it's been interesting and definitely exciting to watch. Good luck out there, Justin.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get him back down in his room. You're in the team name, right?
I think he moved himself.
I think he probably did. All right, well, either way.
Talented.
Well, he definitely, like he said, he brought up a good point. We're getting set to go back green here. We'll go to green. I'll get on that here right fast. Something that he just touched on right there. The difference between the virtual world and the real world. But pace truck's in. We're going green, and you see him get another good jump out front there, and that's what he needs. He needs to try to get out front, away from these guys the best he can. Donnie Elia, though, jumps up the second. I think that's going to be probably the fastest guy he's going to have to worry about right there. But you got Kevin Brown, Shaun Castro and company. But just to touch on him, what he said, maybe they can adjust it a little bit, because in the real world, he's right. They can kind of scuff the tires up a little bit and have an extra set. But the biggest thing about in real world as opposed to what we have here on virtual, I said they do bring a set amount of tires to the track. Normally they bring probably about 10 to 12 sets. So they bring more than enough, but they do bring a select set. normally you don't hear about teams running out too much unless it's just a caution field race and it's really bad. So that is the biggest difference between the real and the virtual world. I think the 3-stop thing has worked out well tonight. It has really brought about strategy here and not so much just wide open. So it's been interesting to see, but he did say he's going to hope it goes green here the rest of the way because, well, if it does, then he could come in, put those 4 tires on, and take this thing to the end.
Absolutely, that is certainly a possibility that he can pull off. He's just got to be smart. These drivers need to be safe here. Make sure they take care of their tires because once they're gone, they are gone. Justin Fuller doing a great job leading the way. He's got about 0.4 seconds over Donnie Elia. Donnie Elia is gaining on him. Kevin Brown, though, sits there in 3rd and 4th. Daniel Falkingham, Sean Casto rounds out the top 5. But it's a good battle up here, up towards the front. I think Donnie Elia is going to be able to run down Justin Fuller. Let's see how that happens.
And if Donnie Elia puts pressure on him, I would think it'd be in the best, benefit there for Justin to say, go ahead, Donnie, and not use and abuse those tires until he's able to come in. You see right now, Tommy Ryan's coming through the field back there in about the 7th place spot. So, yeah, I'm with you out there, Bob. Hey, I don't get into what they change or anything. I hope they don't change the limit and give them 4 because the lengths of the race here, I think the 3 actually really works out well. But, again, that's on the admins and all that of the league. So, I like it here because it makes it a little bit more strategic. I think it does. The cautions play into it, and it doesn't allow you just to come in here, slap on 4 tires every time and run wide open every time there's a caution and every time it's green.
Absolutely. It requires strategy and makes these guys work for it. And that's exactly, I think, what the drivers want too. They want to, when they win a race, feel like they earned it. They want to feel like they've worked hard and, played their cards right and everything worked out for them. So now the caution is out once again, though, at lap 118. Timothy Johnson wrapped up in that one.
Looks like him and Steve Goschark just got a little bit together coming into the turn, and Timothy went up the track, slams the outside wall. That was just them two, was just kind of side by side, barely made contact, shoved Timothy's truck up, and unfortunately, that thing's smoking like a steam engine. I think his night's done. So, Justin did say, caution out. He's probably going to come in. But my question is, would you want to come in at this point? What do you think, Jeff?
That's tough. I think if I
he faked him out.
Oh, he faked him. Wow.
Donnie Elia, though, came in, but most of the field stayed out. Wow.
I think if you've got 2 sets left, now you do come in and pit.
That was good right there. I will, my hat's off there to Justin Fuller on what he just pulled off right there because he got Donnie Elia. I really feel Donnie Elia probably, I don't want to take anything away from anybody else, but probably one of his biggest threats by being behind him on the newer set of tires. And now Donnie Elia's got to work his way all the way back through the field again. And I think right there was a good strategy move. Because if a caution flies again now, or even if Justin Fuller, now, I mean, if it goes green from here on out, it might still help Donnie. But if a caution flies, I think that this was a wonderful strategy move.
I agree. If everyone else is on one set of tires, then that could work out for him. But I don't know. I would still... Right now, I think that Donnie Elia is in a really good spot because if there's another caution here, probably around lap 150, 155, he can come down and have 4 fresh tires for the end of the race.
Yeah, that is true. Now he would be on the same set that Justin Fuller would be. So I think in a nutshell there, what you're saying is both of them would be, unless Donnie Elia would be, I think, in the top 10. If he's still marred back where he is, I think it would hurt him because he's back in 19th spot. If he's able to get back up to, let's say, the top 10 before that caution comes out, awesome. I really, because if they go, once you get 4 tires on Justin Fuller on this last stop, he's going to be gone. He's not going to worry about probably tire management at that point, and from the rest of the race. So I don't know. This is where the strategy kicks in here, Jeff. It's interesting.
That it is. It's going to be fun to watch out here for the rest of the race, though. Got to keep in mind, Justin Fuller's probably going to have to come in on the next caution for fuel as well. That's another concern for these guys. It's been a while out here.
Yeah, you know, and then that too. If anything, he could have came in and at least topped off with fuel. So, you're right. You know, we're not talking about fuel, which, I mean, I just mentioned it a minute ago. That's something else we got to, think about. He's going to have to also get fuel, but I mean, he can't run this thing the rest of the way without fuel.
You're right. He needs at least one more pit stop. So do you take the tires then? I think if you're coming in for fuel, you might as well take the tires.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll have to see here what Justin Fuller's strategy is.
Man, I tell you, this is what it really makes it exciting here. This is what I think we've been kind of missing on the virtual world here, racing wise, is this kind of realism, this kind of setting it up here. And a lot of these leagues, I think now, obviously the green-white checkered was only a staple, was only the first step in making it realistic. The green-white checkered brought about new strategies and new ways and just new things happening in leagues and these races on the virtual world. Now with these tire limits, it's bringing that on too, because not only that, we got to throw the green-white checkered in there too. If we looked at how long they were going, you would throw all that in a combination. It's definitely going to it's interesting. I don't know. It's just going to be unique and it's exciting. I don't think, but now, Jeff, you've been keeping up with it a little bit more than I have. I don't think, actually, I could tell you. Donnie and Leah, how many stops has Donnie and Leah made? Oh, 4. Nah, he made 4. Donnie Leah, he would have to have one more set. I think Donnie Leah has one more set. Is that right? Actually, I think that was Donnie Leah's last set. Because remember, he came on pit road just for optional repair, so it's showing 4 stops. Stay, Jeff. Oh, I lost Jeff. Must have had some technical difficulties. Oh, we'll see if he jumps back in here. Jeff has lost connection. I thought he got awful quiet on me there. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't even see it. And I looked over on the TeamSpeak side there, and I noticed he had dropped the connection. But I'm not. It shows he's been in 4 times. So, Bob, I think you're right. I think that might have been his last set. We're just going to have to see what happens here. But back to green. Justin Fuller's back out front. Tyler Overstreet right there is trying to hang on, but boy, Kevin Brown's all over his back end. And Tommy Ryan right there on the outside. I think it's going to be all for naught. This is what Justin Fuller wants to see. Wants to see them two battle in his rearview mirror. Use those tires up. Kevin Brown, boy, he gets shuffled out way up high. Shaun Castro right there. You got Tommy Ryan. Nick Silver in the mix, and has a good shot right there of the camera. Jose Gonzalez pulls it up there in the 10th place. And Jeff just sent me a message, said that his internet just dropped out on him. He's trying to get back. That's fine. Hey, we'll give him a few here. No problem. And down to the closing laps of this one, though, here, folks. We'll see what Justin Fuller can pull off. Oh, look at old Ryan Howard up front. Give you an update where Donnie Leah is. He's up to 18th. He's going to have to see what he can do. Don't want to get caught up in a wreck, though. The one thing you don't want to have happen You've got a lot of battling going on in front of him there with Steve Goschak and company. Like I said, we got guys on old tires, guys on new tires. You got Nick Silver there. Justin Fuller still leading this one. Tyler Overstreet there in second. Tyler I haven't really mentioned much him tonight, but boy, he's having a heck of a night tonight. It's a good run by him there with Tommy Ryan sitting in third place. Remember Tommy? He said it. He thinks that if he can be there at the end. Appreciate that follow there, Jeff. Yeah. He said if he can be there at the end with the tires, he might be able to pull this thing off. So we'll have to see. Justin Fuller, the man up front. And man, look at this. Anthony DeBarro. We have not mentioned his name in quite a while. He is back up to fourth place. He got way back in the back there. Caught up in traffic. Well, he has just battled his way back to the front with Daniel Falkingham. Those two guys, right time, right place with the tires here. Now they're up to fourth and fifth. And with 4 new tires, I think newer than the top guys, man, they are coming to the front in a hurry. Anthony Nabarro, call him the silver bullet. And boy, he looks like a silver bullet. Problem is, he's in a Hooters machine tonight, so he's got some fast Hooters. And he's going up underneath him here to take that spot away. He's in third. Look at that. That just shows you what new tires is. And Justin Fuller's just going to be a sitting duck. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. He'll try to protect, but there's just not a lot. Anthony DeBarro is just going to take that inside lane from him and motor his way by. Daniel Falkingham to the lead. Justin Fuller there. And remember, Justin still has one set left here, tire-wise. And then, here comes Daniel. Daniel said, well, I'll let you get the lead for a moment. Now I'm going to come around you. Oh, Justin Fuller got tagged in the back. 3 wide to behind him. You got Jose Gonzalez, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Overstreet there. Well, Daniel got tagged in the back. I don't know what happened there for the moment. But these guys are racing hard. This is actually for round 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Justin Fuller, I think the tires are starting to go away on that truck. Now he's falling off the pace, but Anthony DeBarro and Daniel Falkingham both out front on the newer tires have just blasted to the front of this one. Justin Fuller's falling to 6th spot. Right now, the Jose Gonzalez on the move, too. He's looking to take over the 3rd place spot. And Jeff is back with us. What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
Frustrated. I'm very frustrated.
Hey, I've had those weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I hope Charter Spectrum is ready for a piece of my mind because they're going to get it. I'm trying to, run a small business out of this house, and if they can't give me internet reliably, I'm going to stop giving them my money.
I've been down that road. I'm with them too, and I know how it feels, man. So I'm all with you there. So
it's not. At least it's not Comcast. I will say that I've never had a worse experience than with Comcast. They cut the cables to my house, and then tried to charge $200 for a technician. I told them right where they could shove that idea, and wouldn't you know it, I got internet the next day.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's usually what you got to do, man. But well, jump back in. I tell you what, Daniel Falkingham and Anthony DeBarro came through the field flying, and right now Daniel Falkingham took the lead. Remember, they're on newer tires. We've seen that happen earlier, but wow, out of nowhere, they come to the front. They're pulling away right now. They got a 2-second lead over Jose Gonzalez sitting in 3rd. Tommy Ryan up to 4th, who's got Tyler Overstreet in 5th. Donnie Elia back to 6th. Jason Barham up to 7th. Justin has fallen back to 8th. I think those older tires are starting to, show their head a little bit. They're poking up there, and you can see that truck, man, it's just falling off the pace. Right at this moment, I feel that Justin would love to see a caution to, one, get that last set of tires on, because if not, he's going to have to come in here soon, put those tires on there, Jeff, and he's going to give up a ton of track position.
Absolutely. Right now we're seeing the result of, maybe staying out for a little too long, overplaying his hand. He's back there in 8th. really got to hold on to that truck now. It's sliding out all over on him, that 51 machine. He's got a handful. Daniel Falkingham, though, now leading the way. He started 7th. He's up to 1st. Anthony DeBarro. He was just the lucky dog maybe 20, 30 laps ago, and he's all the way back up to 2nd now, chasing down our leader. That last lap, a 24.596 for Anthony DeBarro, and a 24.595, a difference of just 1/1000th of a second, about 1/100th of the time it takes to blink, was Daniel Falkingham. The difference between those two, think about that. Just essentially identical lap times there.
And I got to tell you that, you know, we talked to him earlier in the race. This right here is what the tire situation is bringing us. This is strategy. He played the card right. You're right. He was the lucky dog, 1 lap down earlier in the race, was able to get that back. Yeah, was able to get that back, and then was able to strategically get the pit stops like he is, and it has played out perfectly. Him and Daniel Falkingham, that is, and you got to look at Jose Gonzalez too. He's right there in 3rd. Now, don't count that man out in 4, Don Elia. He just come through the field on a mission, and I think he understands that. Look, I'm on the last set of, I believe Don Elia's on his last set of tires, if I'm not mistaken. He understands that it's go time for him. He's looking. I don't know if he's got enough to run down
Caution.
Anthony, and caution is out. You're right. Let's see who it was on.
Thomas O'Leary again was involved. That was the 38 behind him. Let's see, who's the 38
machine?
Is that Chad Coleman?
Okay, we're watching the replay right here. Let's see what happened. And you know, all the viewers love wrecks, so like Thomas goes down the inside, and he just, it's like the 38, it's like he just bobbled a little bit, and they just made a little bit of contact. Yeah, awful close with each other. Unfortunately, hit the inside wall. So this caution here benefits Justin Fuller, if anything, up front. I do not think Daniel and Anthony wanted to see it, but Justin's probably was like, man, it, you know, hallelujah. Another guy just cracked the top 10. Haven't mentioned his name. The trans surface machine out there, E.J. O'Rourke. He's in 8th place.
Having himself a great run here tonight. He's had some rough luck these past few weeks. He was very, very strong in the K&N series last season. Now he comes down to pit road. Whoa, Fuller comes in and locks him up. Was he speeding on entry?
I don't know. That was close.
Throw away the whole night if he was. Taking a look back at the replay.
Whew. He was hot and heavy in there. We were watching EJ, and he came flying into the picture. So I'm with you on that one. That's close. Wow.
At the line, he was clocked at 50 miles an hour.
We're going to have to watch him then to see. Just to see.
He got it locked down right after, but I think he might have been speeding there. That was very close.
You know, and the frustration, you know, already frustrated on, he might have made a bad choice on pit stops earlier on as far as, you know, tires. This right here kind of just multiplies. And I've said this week in and week out, mental mistakes. Now, not only do you got to think about what we just saw there, getting in and off pit road, getting in and out of your pit box, hitting your marks on the track. Now you got to think in the back of your mind about pit strategy with tires and tire wear. When do I take them? When do I don't take them? How long can I go? When do I push the truck and when don't I? You've got to now be a full-time race car driver on the virtual world. And that's kind of the first time I've said that on the channel. That now you really have to think about all aspects that I feel that a real driver does. How long do I push the truck or car? When do I? When don't I? And then obviously don't make mistakes on pit road, which can cost you a race. And we're going to have to see here if this is going to cost Justin, if he was speeding or not. But I tell you what, Jeff, this has changed the whole complexion of how we look at now the virtual side of world of racing.
Yeah, it's very cool here on iRacing. I mentioned earlier it's as close as you can get to real racing without putting on a fire suit. And now with just one more thing to consider, there's really not much that these drivers aren't worried about that real drivers are, except for maybe, you know, the AC box going out. Yeah, like things like that. Or, you know,
spending a lot of money on the car. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Right. Spending your own money on the car, things like that. But other than that, they're worried about
but you know
pacing
what?
themselves. Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jeff? Sorry about that, but you know, we say not spending a lot of money on the car, but then again, you know, you do have your computer, and a lot of these guys have got, you know, we talk about hundreds of dollars. Some of these guys have got thousands of dollars in sim equipment, especially if you've got direct drive wheel, motion rig. I've seen $20,000-$50,000 sim rigs before. You're talking about something that's totally decked out. I mean, but it's there. A lot of these guys, you know, have probably got, like I said, I mean, you know, you go out and spend $200-$300 on a wheel, pedal. By the time you get a rig, $400-$500, you've probably got $2,000 in your computer. You know, it adds up over the time. Like you said, you got VR options, you got triple screen options, you've got all kinds of options out there. So we talk about not worrying about the cost, but I know you've heard this. I don't know if you've experienced it, but hey, what if your pedal breaks in the middle of the race?
Yeah, that's a bad feeling. I've had that once before. There's a tension spring inside of the pedals that I used to run. I got about 1,200 races out of them before they finally gave out, but I could feel it going. And that entire race, I'm sitting there going, please, just keep working for me here. Keep working. And it gave out on lap like 78 of 80. And from that point on, my foot was to the floor. I had to move my foot below the pedal and lift it back up because the spring is what would push the throttle back to neutral. So I'd have to lift the pedal up with my foot while I was driving, and I think I won that race. So
there you go. Hey, see,
one story.
There's no doubt about it. That's awesome, and that's what I'm trying to say is, so with this strategy involved here, and I really hope again that they don't change it too much or change it around, because I really feel like it has made this race kind of definitely something for us to talk about, and has made it exciting. And I think it plays into, and it looks like Justin Fuller's not, he might have got it woed down because he's not having to come in, or he didn't get a black flag at least.
Yeah, looks like. So
wow, I'm gonna tell you what, he was close there, Jeff. I'm with you. That had to be right on the limit.
Yeah, that was very, very close. But now Donnie Elia leads the way, Falkingham in second, DeBarro in third. Do not fall asleep on him. Jose Gonzalez, another strong contender, sitting in fourth. Jason Barham having himself a fantastic run now in fifth place. This is a really strong top five. I can't wait to watch this play out.
And here's the thing, you've got guys on older tires and guys on newer tires. And most notably, you've got Justin Fuller on newer tires. And with 20 to go, believe me, there will be no saving the tires, and you already see it. He's coming to the front. He drives down the inside, and he is driving that truck up through the field. He wants to get back to the lead. He got turned. Are you kidding me? Jose Gonzalez got into him. That is a huge wreck. We got a car over the fence.
Flipping. Our heads are falling off. Oh, my gosh.
Let's go back and watch it. Him and Jose got together coming off the turn. They went door to door, and then Jose bounced off the wall. And then the next thing you know, and I don't know who that was who went flying over the fence. We're gonna
He's out of here.
Yeah, we'll have to find out who that was, but that was a wild one right there. Yeah, they just went together. Jose bounced off the wall. Next thing you know, and they caught Tyler Overstreet also.
EJ O'Rourke.
It was
that
EJ?
went over the wall.
Oh, let's watch EJ. Yep, you're right. Let's go on EJ here. Let's ride with him on the caution here.
I've never seen that.
No, but we're gonna watch it here. We're gonna watch it and see what happened. Oh, EJ, but yeah, Justin and them, they went door to door. Jose went up the track, got into the wall, bounced off the wall, and then Justin was right there, wrong place. And I tell you what, that's just racing. Just two guys racing hard. Wrong place, wrong time. We're going to ride here with EJ O'Rourke and show you the ride that he had happen. Next thing you know, he's trying to slow up, and next thing, boom, Jose's there, and then He just went over the catch fence. That was a huge wreck, though.
The big one strikes at Dover for the second time tonight.
Yeah, and I know Justin's probably not going to be very, very happy on that, but it's just two drivers, man, side by side racing very hard. Obviously Jose probably on a little older tires, him on newer. I said it earlier, you're on newer tires. You have to be mindful for guys that are on older tires. As we're going to watch one more time. Remember, Justin, we've always said he is an aggressive style driver. But, boy, he slings that thing on the inside. His truck goes up high, and it looks like Jose just ran out of room, taps the outside wall. When it does, it comes back down, and then from there, caught Justin Fuller, and it was just chaos from that moment. I don't really think it was just something that, Jose kind of meant to do or Justin meant to do. It looked like just nowhere to go. Kind of Jose just had nowhere to go and went straight up the caught the wall.
Yeah, I think you're right there, but how crazy is that?
Well, that throws out everything we've been talking, and we've said before, usually it's not the fastest truck that wins, and unfortunately Justin Fuller is not going to win here tonight after that one. Hated on that end, but Donnie Elia. Here's the story on this one. Donnie Elia, from my knowledge, has never won in the Sim500. Now, I could be wrong, but I feel that this would be his first win here at the Sim500. Obviously, we'd find out. I don't want to jinx him. I don't want to bring him up and talk to him. I want him to be fully concentrated here on it. But, we know Daniel Falkenham and Anthony DeBarro and Jason Barham, those guys there. And actually, Jason Barham's having a very, very good race, too. Up the fourth. They're in that Kick-Ass Beef Jerky machine, because we're at the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series here tonight. And if you haven't enjoyed this one, I don't know. You're not a race fan? How about Jason Barham out there, Bob? I'm telling you, man's doing great. Because we've had a little bit of everything here, Jeff. We've had strategy play out, we've had drama play out on the track, we've had wrecks, green flag runs, pass. I mean, it's just wow.
Yeah, what a race. What a really great race. And like you said, the different strategies and everything. 170 laps here. It's a bit of a long race. They've still got 22 minutes before the time runs out. I think they'll be able to make their last 18 laps here before it ends. But a really great run so far. And Donnie Elia leading the way. But don't forget about Anthony DeBarro. Jason Barham could come home with this. That'd be awesome to see.
And real quick here, Jeff, I know what some of the drivers like Justin Fuller are probably going to be saying. Well, this is not going to work. This tire limit's not going to work. And probably one of the main things they're probably going to say is what we've been saying is guys out there on older tires, guys on newer tires. But the problem is that's real racing. That is real racing. And if you want to make this as real as possible, you have to implement that. And as a driver, you have to understand and be aware of your surroundings that guys are on older tires. And I know what these guys are going to say. Well, these guys should get out of the way. They're on older tires. No, it's you've got to get around him and be smart on doing it. You know you're faster. You know you can pass him at any time pretty much. Make sure that you're safe to make that pass. And that's just something you're going to have to learn. That's the way I look at it. That's how real racers have to do it. And, that's pretty much, maybe that's something in the virtual world that they haven't had to do that now iRacing's implemented or actually gave them the tool for leagues to implement, let's say it that way, so that now they can be like real racers. Because, hey, that's what a lot of people in iRacing wanted, to be more realistic.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. And it's not meant to be easy. If you're out here winning races and it's easy, maybe you're in the wrong place, because it should be hard to win a race. It should be difficult. You should, at the end, feel proud of yourself for winning it because you had the best strategy and it worked in your favor, and it all comes out with you at the front. So right now, we'll have to see how it ends up working out. Jason Barham having himself a great run. Anthony DeBarro starting to his inside. They are starting behind the front row of Daniel Falkenham and Donnie Elia, your leader, though, as Elia takes the outside here. Falkenham to his inside. pace truck's getting ready to come in. They're ready to go back green on lap 154.
Absolutely, getting set to go back green. Hate to see that, Rick there. You got kicked out on that one. Sometimes, man, things happen on the virtual side of the world. But here we go. Can Donnie Leah hold on here? We're going to have about 15 laps to go in this one. And I'll tell you what, Daniel Falkenham and Anthony DeBarro, they've been hooked up working together quite well. And Don, I think these three trucks here, these are the three to look at. If it goes green, I mean, don't count, like I say, Jason Barham out. He's right there. But Daniel Falkenham all over the back end of Donnie Leah. He's looking for the lead.
He's going to have it here. He's to the inside. He's clear off of turn number 4. Anthony DeBarro following as well. Donnie Leah back there to third. Jason Barham now trying to make a run happen. He goes into turn 1, just about a truck length and a half off of Donnie Leah. Barham up to that back bumper. He's to the inside. Jason Barham up to the top 3. Anthony DeBarro ahead of him. Daniel Falkenham leading the way. Now a side-by-side battle for third goes to Jason Barham. Opens the door for the 52 with Shaun Casto to try and make a run at Donnie Leah. He's got his sights on him. He'll be next to get around that 29 car.
Yeah, and I think right there, it's basically just the older tires showing their head there on Donnie as he just can't hold pace with those top guys. And Jason Barham up to third. Outstanding run for him tonight. Shaun Castro makes the move around him as Donnie falls to 5th. He pulls up to 4th. Behind him comes Ryan Howard. Yeah, I just feel the tires, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, this is how it plays out strategy-wise. You just don't know how the race is going to play out at the end. You don't know how it's going to end here, but down at the closing laps, we're getting close to 10 to go. Daniel Falkenham and Anthony DeBarro. Can Anthony DeBarro get around Daniel Falkenham? Which one of those two trucks you think is the fastest?
I don't know. Anthony DeBarro is a really, really strong driver here, and he knows how to win races. I think we might see some close battling here at the end. Let's call it that. They are really pulling away from Jason Barham, Shaun Castro, Ryan Howard now. It's a two-truck battle out at the front.
Yes, it is, and you got a two-truck battle going on for third. Look at Shaun Castro putting a bumper to the back end of Jason Barham right there. He says, hey, I see that kick-ass beef jerky symbol on the back, and I'm going to take third from you right now. He's able to move him out the way and get up to third, but still outstanding run from those two gentlemen.
Absolutely is a strong run for them. And now they're going to have to start working their way through lap traffic. When they get to the line, 10 laps to go for these two.
Yes, it is. Daniel Falkenham out front at that Raging Cajun machine rumbling there. But you've got Anthony DeBarro behind him looking strong, too. And I think he's just sitting there. And lap traffic, yes, will play a factor here before the end of this one. As it's like we've got, what, less than 10 to go here at Dover.
10 to go here. 9 to go now at the line. Daniel Falkenham leading the way over Anthony DeBarro, pulling away a little bit. So these guys are going to be duking it out at the end here, and I think they're hoping that it stays green here. Jason Barham now back there in 4th, and tempers are still flaring further back as Justin Fuller tries to work his way up through the field. Maybe he can come out of this with a top 10, but not the win he was looking for here tonight. That's going to go to probably Daniel Falkenham or Anthony DeBarro if this race stays green for the next 8 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. If it stays green, those guys are setting sail. But you're right, Justin Fuller's right there on the back end of Tyler Dalton trying to take that 10th place. See if we can't crack into the top 10 here. Let's see if we can't, man, salvage something points-wise here tonight. And it's a little mishap there on pit road, a little mishap there between him and Jose Gonzalez. They got together late in the race. But right now he's trying to work his way back up to the front as Jose, unfortunately, I think is out of this one, along with a lot of great trucks here tonight. But still, Daniel Falkenham out front. He's got a pretty good lead of about, looks to be about 2/10 or so. 3/10, 3.5 tenths.
3.5 tenths. Yep.
All right, and you're right there, Bob. I mean, you said it right there. You know, drivers will have to adjust, and I hope they do. I hope it's a matter that the drivers do adjust, and obviously it's definitely up to the admins and all that out there. But it makes for the drama, it makes for the racing, it makes for the exciting here that the drivers. And I know, like you said earlier there, Jeff, man, that tempers will flare, guys will get upset. That's just racing sometimes. But, hey, look at Donnie Leah. Donnie Leah's right there, too, with Justin Fuller. And he's going to look on the inside of Justin Fuller to see if he can't take the spot. Maybe not. That's a good battle going on for 10th and 11th place spot.
That was a battle for 9th place right there. Don Elia now back to 10th. Back to 11th as Justin Fuller takes 10th place. Tyler Dalton now the next in Justin Fuller's sights. Back up towards the front, though. 4 laps to go, coming to 3 to go. Falkingham starts to pull away from DeBarro a little bit. Seems like DeBarro just doesn't have the truck under him to make it happen. 3 to go here at the line.
Yeah, right now looks like Daniel Falkingham has picked up speed and knows what he needs to do. The right place, right time, but definitely a good bounce back for those two drivers. Remember earlier on, they were marred back in traffic, and even Anthony DeBarro was a lap down earlier in the race. Got the lucky dog, got back on the lead lap here, and the next thing you know, cautions fell their way. They utilized the tires that they were given and put them on at the right times, and absolutely was able to come through the field here. Now they've got themselves 1 and 2. And does Anthony DeBarro have anything left to run down Daniel Falkingham in the closing laps?
Let's see the closing laps here. 2 to go. Now the white flag is in the air. 170 laps at Dover International Speedway. Daniel Falkingham, a name we haven't mentioned here too much, is out front. And as long as he doesn't make a bad mistake here in turns 3 or 4, he's going to come out the winner. Dives it into turn 3, works his way around Steve Gottschalk. Not going to be able to get there. Don't push your luck there. But at the line, Daniel Falkingham wins it. It's not the fastest car that wins it, but he's the first one to cross the line. Falkingham is your winner at Dover 170 laps later. Absolutely outstanding race here with these guys, and congratulations to Daniel Falkingham for putting it in victory lane. Wow, we've seen it all here. Great strategy played out throughout all these guys. Ooh, and Daniel Falkingham out of nowhere, along with Anthony DeBarro right there at the end. And Shaun Castro coming home in 3rd. Good run for him tonight. It absolutely was a great run from 32nd all the way to 3rd. We'll talk to him about that. We'll get the top 3 here, I'm sure. Ryan Howard in 4th, Randy Yoakum in 5th. Kevin Brown 6th, Tommy Ryan in 7th and 8th, Tyler Dalton, Jason Barron with a great run in 9th, and Justin Fuller rounds out the top 10. Absolutely. Well, let's bring up 3rd place man, Shaun Castro. Let's get a word with him. Shaun, it's Jeff up in the booth. You got me?
We copy.
Shaun, you drove your way from 32nd all the way to 3rd here tonight. I have to ask, how did you make that happen on only 3 sets of tires, working your way from way far back up to 3rd place? That's a great run.
Yeah, we have anger on the hood, but we had patience in the seat. Just took the advantage. I don't know what those guys were thinking, staying out on 30-lap tires at that first run. Tried to ride that. Knew what the strategy was. Raced accordingly under the green to save. And, we rode it. Tried to attack there at the end. Got up to 3rd. That's as good as we could do, but third's pretty good sometimes.
It certainly is pretty good. Do you have anyone you want to thank for that 3rd place run tonight, Shaun?
Yeah, teammate Nick Silver. He was basically keeping track of the tire allotment behind me as far as who and what, and you can use every bit of information you can during the race. So them, you all for broadcasting, of course, and Sim500.
Absolutely. Congratulations again on that 3rd place run here tonight, Shaun. You did a great job out there from 32nd to 3rd. That's a great run.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Like you just said, man, come home here tonight. 3rd place. Good run by him there. I know he was happy on that end. Well, let's bring up 2nd place man, Anthony DeBarro. Let's get a word with him. Anthony, it seems like we're talking every week here from 36th all the way up to 2nd place. How did you get that done here tonight? Within 20 laps at one point, you went from the lucky dog up to 2nd place. How did you do it? Anthony, do you have a copy?
Yes. How you going?
There we go. I'm doing well up here. Probably not as well as you, though. I'm wanting to know how you went from 36th all the way up to 2nd place here tonight, including that one part of the race where within about 20 laps you went from being the lucky dog all the way up to 2nd place.
Well, I saved the set of tires in the beginning and it almost burned us. I was on pit road when that one caution came out, and I just rolled. I made a smart decision to roll through my box and just to stay one lap down because I had teammate Shane who was stuck 2 down for the whole race. So luckily I came out before the leader before going 2 down. So I had an extra set of tires, and I finally got the free pass. And when I got the free pass, I didn't even take tires. I saved that set. I took it. Well, I don't know. It was 50 to go, and that's when I got the second. Me and Daniel were battling, and then I got back in line with those guys, and I had track position. So it worked out. I mean, it's kind of cool with the tire sets. I think we should have one more, to be honest with you. I think in the pits, I think it would be the right number. But we had a lot of caution side, different strategy. I mean, I think it was at least we put a good show on. Me and Daniel. I mean, Daniel's pretty dang good. You don't make any mistakes out there. You can see I was trying everything I could.
You are absolutely right. You were trying everything, and we were watching up here. Not quite enough there at the end, but maybe next week we'll see it. You had a great run here tonight. Who do you want to thank for it?
Oh, the guys at Dizzy. I mean, Nick keeps buying these fast trucks. We're going to put them in victory lane soon enough.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again on that second place finish here tonight. Another great run, and more than likely we'll be talking to you next week with this hot streak that you've been on.
Thank you, guys.
I'll tell you what, call him Silver Bullet right there, and he's definitely fast week in and week out. But this guy here, right place, different good strategy, and had a fast truck. Daniel Falkenham, did you like the booth? Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Daniel, there at the end, tell us how you came about to put yourself in victory lane here, that strategy for the tire stops.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely got to talk with the admins about something about that, which something we had to address about that. But other than that, we definitely had a good truck. We definitely could keep pace with the leaders when I felt like I could push well. But that I decided to go on that tire strategy so I could try to have extra sets for the end of the race. But should never happen, honestly. I mean, it could have happened any other way. But me and Beasley got together off of turn 4, which kind of helped me in that sense. So. Yeah, so that definitely kind of played into things. That's definitely not one of my proudest wins, but I mean, with these new tire limits, it's definitely changing the name of the game about how you take tires and stuff. So, but yeah, it was definitely overall a good race for us. But we will take what we got, move on.
Well, like you said, it's like real racing. They have tire limits in there too, and you got to look at it. Got to be strategy about it. And it played a lot tonight. Not to say you didn't have a fast truck out there, because you definitely, when you was on new tires, you were fast. Put it in victory lane here, man, for the kick-ass beef jerky truck series here at Dover. I like that. Like you said, the strategy, putting it out front. But hey, got anybody you want to thank for this win?
Yeah, I got to thank First Rate Bay Lobster 207 for all their support. Also got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I also got to thank John Musson Jr., Rage Decatur Designs, for painting up the truck for me. Also got to thank Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, all they do for the series, for all the sponsorship they do, like the No Bold and stuff. Also got to thank everyone at Sim500, Nick Silver, who's the lead admin, and Joey and everyone, all the admins here at Sim500 for some good racing tonight. Also to everyone else who comes to races each and every week too. And also got to thank everyone who was watching the broadcast too. Hopefully they had a good race to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It was exciting. A lot of drama, man, and some good action packed throughout. And, hey, you brought it home, like you said, that Raging Cajun machine. Again, there, Daniel Falkenham, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
All right, there you go, Daniel Falkenham. Well, I tell you what, he burned it down out there, and it looked really good doing it here tonight. Man, we saw a little bit of just everything here. Let's get the final results order here tonight. It's like we said, Daniel Falkenham going to win it here tonight. As that man right there, Anthony DeBarro, is going to come home in second. Shaun Castro third. Ryan Howard the fourth. Randy Yoakum fifth. Kevin Brown the sixth. Tommy Ryan up in the seventh. Tyler Dalton up to eighth. Jason Barham up to ninth. Good run by him. And Justin Fuller does round out the top 10. Well, it was a good one. I mean, we saw a little bit about everything here. I liked it. Got any final words there, Jeff?
Well, just so I'm excited. I'm very excited for what we're going to see here in the next few weeks from Sim500, from other leagues in iRacing here. Now that there's a limit on the number of tires they can take, it really does change the strategy here. We saw who it worked well for, who it didn't work too well for. when you go and take tires there towards the end and you're off cycle from everybody else, you might be on 4 fresh tires, but then you have to work your way up through the field, and passing cars that are a lot slower than you can lead to some issues. We saw that with Jose Gonzalez and Justin Fuller. There's so much that goes into every single decision here. There's no completely right way to do it and no completely wrong way to do it either. So it puts a lot more on the drivers here, a lot more than they even realize. I'm excited for what to be seen in the future here. It was a great race at Dover here tonight, and I cannot wait until next week to see some more racing here with the Sim500 Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. Wednesday night is truck night.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, we're going to leave Dover here. Miles had his share of trucks here, but for myself and everybody at Sim500 and Jeff up here, everyone have a good night.